every morning at around 6 a.m., I would be at Lifetime Fitness in the yoga class. And there was no education paired with yoga class. You took your shoes and your socks off, you had your mat, you found a spot on the floor, and you followed the instructions of the yoga instructor the entire time of class. There was no dialogue, no Q&A. It was come on in and do as I do. If you completely trust your yoga instructor, go ahead. At the same time, during that time, I was a Jehovah's Witness. And there are articles, girl, up and down on demonic aspects of yoga. And I read all those articles. It scared me because the experience that I was having at yoga class was very similar to what they were saying in the articles. It made me open the book on yoga. And this is prior to me getting my yoga certification, by the way. When I opened the book on yoga, I was able to see where it originated, how it came into form, and how it's practiced, and all the different forms of yoga. My favorite was vinyasa. So when I do my hands like this, you're seeing like it spin in a circle. So this is a cycle. It just goes like this, right? You do one pose to the next pose, to the next pose, to the next pose, to the next pose, to the next pose. And it just continues like that until you start all over at the beginning and you do that sequence of poses all over again. That's a cycle. What happens, guys, is that you have people who take advantage of the powers of yoga. Kemetic Yoga, which was one of the first installments of yoga, is all about opening up your conduits, which are your powerhouse points, your energy points, your chakra points, and anything that can utilize that energy within you for its own satisfaction is taking advantage of you because you're not the one that's being able to benefit from your exercise. Something or someone else is. When you're walking into yoga class and they're not talking about intuitive flows and they just want you to follow suit, you're about to hop into a cycle, a sequence of movements that have been put together by someone else. This is what I was able to uncover in my dive, in my studies. Each movement is a letter. Each body pose is a letter. When you put letters together, what are you doing? You are spelling. You are taking the energy points and the power in you, and you are applying it to a spell. And what you're saying in that spell is commune with me. I allow. So when you hear people say yoga is all about yoking yourself, they are absolutely correct. You're taking your body, you're spelling, commune with me, come into me, abide with me. I give honor to you. Even Om, that is the name of the deity, Om. Look it up, do your education, do your research, and figure out how I can edify myself via this conduit without compromising my spirit, which is why I always open up with what? The intuitive flow. The intuitive flow is all about you setting the stage for how you want to exercise yourself. I'm not spelling my way into communing with a different deity. I know that each pose that I put within my sequence is going to edify me only. So that's why it's so important to know what you're dealing with, who your instructor is, and what you want to get out of your ritual, what you want to get out of your practice. Because it absolutely is a spiritual thing. It can absolutely turn into a spiritual yoking if you're not careful, because I know what that's about. And I've already read of the spellings of that prior to starting class. Almost anything that you can get into that has to utilize your energy and your mind, something can take advantage of you, something can compromise the integrity of what you're doing and siphon your loosh. Loosh is the energy that emits from you while you exercise yourself. Loosh is the energy that emits from you when you're happy, when you're in love, when you're having sex. All of the things, anytime you feel your energy coming up and doing the things, you are releasing loosh. And there are entities that we can't see that are around us all the time that consume that. Obviously, they have their preferences. They only want to have loosh when it's, dipped in a certain kind of energy, like fear. For example, Monsters, Inc., they were absolutely consuming loosh. They would go into the room, scare them, activate that energy within them, that fear, and they would absorb the loosh from the children, store it into these canisters, and run their entire cities off of it. They are feeding off of that energy. So when you combine that with putting your body in a sequence of poses that spells out, I allow for you to commune inside of me, you're absolutely putting yourself in jeopardy. Educate yourself. Do not just fall behind things because it's something that you want to do. Don't come to class because you just need something to do in the morning. I'm always going to stress the importance of developing your intuitive flow for yourself. Because it's your intuitive flow that you master that's going to teach you how to put together your own sequence. Create your own Kemetic cycle. So for those that feel that yoga can become a very demonic engagement, it absolutely can. You are correct. Just make sure that the yoga that you're getting into is not filled with that. You have to do your research. And you have to be in tune with your spirit enough to know whether or not it is for you.